There we go. I think that is better, Jacinta. Yes. Yes. Charlene, welcome. Welcome. Thank you, Lady Ja, directing me technically. All right, let me see. My mic needs to be plugged in. So I had to. All right. That's plugged in. Let me do a pin. Let me take care of the housekeeping. Welcome, welcome, Charlene. Welcome, welcome. Gathering around the fire of love. Welcome to our intimate circle.
How are you?
Yep, blessed to be alive.
I know, me too.
Blessed to be alive.
Blessed to be here. Thank you for holding space.
Yes, yes, yes. There's Lady Jill. Welcome to our intimate space where we gather around the fire of love. Hey, Lady J. All right. Tell me how I sound. That's the thing I want to know. Trying a new system here. Okay. And I actually heard Charlene, so that means these speakers are working. All right. Hey, thanks for the small things. All right. There we go. Got everything going. Recording. All right. We do have many things to cover in this special time of the year. So we'll allow the other parishioners to come on in as they may. This fell out right here. See if I can get that back in. That doesn't fall down. All right. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and press your palms together in front of the heart center. And press your thumb into the sternum so that you can feel yourself as a vibratory being. You feel your bones vibrate, but for now, let's come to this place of stillness. As we drop into this stillness, I officially welcome you and anyone that will see this very special time in our lives where we come together like imaginal cells in the body of a caterpillar that are coming online to transform it into a butterfly. We that hear the vision of love feel that vision of love, and therefore we gather around this fire of love, studying the ancient teachings and practices that are downloading now for the time of now, so that we are guided by love, inspired by love, and create in the name of love a world where we treat each other in a loving way. Welcome, welcome to our sacred Wednesday circle. And just begin to drop into that stillness and feel where your body is supported to be still, the touch points on Mother Earth, how gravity is settling you into this moment and allowing you to be still. Looking at these moments in our life as the moment where we can shed all the labels that are distracting, discouraging. Shed all the labels and just drop into the energy label of love. Feel that stillness for a moment. knowing that right here in this space is where the intelligence of creation is unfolding. The same way it did in the beginning is the same way it's doing it now. From moment to moment is another beginning and another ending, another beginning and another ending, and another beginning with every inhale. So now feel the movement of your breath. Feel the inhale. And allow it to be the awareness of labeling the energy of love, how it comes to you, how it takes care of everything you need to experience life. That inhale and that exhale. The rhythm of your heart, moving that energy of life to every cell of the body. That's what we're calling love. That's what we're calling the fire of love. That activity that's constantly allowing you the opportunity to transform. Feel the movement of your breath now. So we've emerged out of the stillness into the movement of life, the unfolding of life, evolutionary process that we are. Long, deep breath. Allow the belly to open. Honor your lower abdomen if you're on your moon time or pregnant. Just move the breath in a way that is comfortable. You sense the nourishing love of respiration. And you feel the body relax and release all the labels associated with stress and pressure and tension. Just open up and let go. Be with the flow of your design. Now begin to hear the sound of the breath. As life and creation set itself in motion, there was a movement and then there was a sound that emerged out of that movement. Vibration awakened out of that stillness. Begin to hear the sound of the breath. Have an awareness of that sound, oh soul, being a language of love, a vibrational representative of that love. Hear the sound of the breath and allow the hearing of that to purify, to cleanse anything that has been stored from what you heard that tends to circulate in the space of the mind, creating stories that are unproductive, counterproductive even, for your balance, health, and well-being. Listen to that sound and feel it can dissolve and melt away any disturbing thoughts. And now we will enter into the ancient teaching about the beginning of creation given to us by the rishis. That the sound, AUM, is the sound beginning to vibrate as creation was evolving itself into what we experience today. That beginning tone, AUM. And we will chant it all on one breath, really spending time with each letter, the A, feeling a lifting of the pelvic floor before we generate that sound. The U, feeling, if it's comfortable for you, a drawing up of the navel point as that U sound is generated by this body. And then the M sound, feeling the energy rise. And just tune into the flow of the energy. It will sound like this. Top of the inhale, lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor. Have a sense of yourself as a vibratory being. Drop the label of human. At least we encourage you to for our time together. And embrace yourself as a vibrational being. I will raise the pitch when we begin together. So let us inhale, synchronize our breath. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Feel yourself vibrate. Last one, lower volume. Inhale deeply. Hold that breath. Feel the vibration. Exhale. Allow the breath to be normal and let's just sit a moment. Sense yourself as a vibratory being. Giving the mind direction and focus. Without a thought, just dropping into being vibration. Letting it all go. All the labels up till now. Open your eyes when you're ready. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I want to introduce this topic, the power vibration of focus. I have a brain coach. His name is Jim Quick, and we have similar stories around early childhood traumas. And I realized as I was fasting from sugar and salt, preparing a program for you all that would like to take that kind of journey of restructuring the patterns of our identity, reclaiming our true self by liberating the taste buds. So stay tuned for that. But what I want to hone in on as I say, blessed, happy winter solstice, this time when the darkness is dominant in the day, but looking at that darkness as not just something that brings up the boogeyman, but that darkness as a place to dwell in the womb of creation where we get a chance to step into our soul alchemy, just manifest a vision. He talks about, and we're going to get into a little bit of it, about priming the nervous system, and particularly the brain for him and his languaging, to be prepared for activating your superhero, activating your superhuman self. His teachings are around it being in the questions that you ask that sets up the brain to reveal the answer. For us in our spiritual empowerment work, which is what this gathering is about around this fire of love, that we have the experience of life and we are empowered by it because we know ourselves as energy beings. In the same way he talks about tuning the brain for accessing your higher centers, we tune ourselves as vibration, dropping the labels of human and tune ourselves to be that vibration. And the reading I have for this winter solstice celebration, winter solstice separation, I was thinking about the Matrix, separating from the Matrix, but is from the Lord's Prayer that we went through a while ago, a couple of months ago. But I want to hone in on what happens with this instruction to atone, atonement. It was considered the 8 atonements. So in your day, as a Middle Eastern mystic, you recognize yourself as vibration and realize there was a consistent needing to atone, to tune yourself inward. And these 8 lines of this prayer, Our Father which art in heaven, in Aramaic is Abun de Boshmaya, the great parent of creation that dwells at the center of its creation. So the first atonement is to recognize our oneness with the creation. So that's the mudra with our palms in prayer position, this oneness, moving out of the duality of the right and left brain and its awareness in the physical, primal, survival mode of these 5 senses. Notice how they're all right here. They're all right here. So this is what makes it easy for us to be in our head and disconnected from our heart brain and our gut brain. But when we breathe, look at the breath coming in, whether the mouth or the nose, and where does it go? It links to the heart. What happens to the abdomen? It opens and it descends, right? So there's movement in all 3 areas where we have this gathering of, you could call it gathering of the ganglia, right? The gathering of a nerve plexus that is so large, there's a lot of conscious activity going on, in the heart center, right? So there's a lot of brain tissue in this area. There's a lot of assimilation going on with food in the intestines, right? And the movement of respiration, digestion. So there's a lot of nerve ganglia there, right? In the solar plexus. So you have these areas that, just to tune in for a moment, that when we are speaking about these ancient writings, and this writing is coming out of the prayer of the cosmos. Prayer of the cosmos. It'll come up when you put it in, but Neil Douglas Klotz is the author. He's a Sufi scholar. Now, coming in, what we're doing right now is just giving you a sense that these teachings are not separate from you. The design of your body liberated these teachings. When you consider the rishis, the seers in India that would drop into meditation into their caves, they're using the same body that you have to tune into the cosmos. There's no difference. And they recorded these ancient teachings that got written down as the Rig Vedas or Ayurvedic teachings, the healing ways, or the Tao Te Ching, or the Papyrus Ebis in the Middle Eastern mystics, or the Dead Sea Scrolls. They got written down, but they too are sitting still, dropping into the listening of the breath, just like we did. And then when they hear the breath, if you're up there with Guru Nanak in northern India, the founder, if you will, of Sikhism, and they're up in the caves and they're listening, and the rishis, and they hear the sound on the inhale. Sat, and they hear the exhale. Nam. So now they have that initial experience, and here they go into the creative flow. Then they begin to do that chant for hours and hours, and all of a sudden they start feeling the effect of activating the vibration. They start feeling the power vibration of focus. They're no longer distracted by what it is to be human. The jealousies, the anger, the frustration, the betrayal, the joys, the substances that bring happiness and joy, the materialism. No longer are they distracted by that, because they have an atonement. Every day they have a morning practice. Every evening they have a morning practice. And sometimes they have a midday practice. They have these ways to stay conscious. So this love mission, love mission is popping up inspiration. Hold on. Create a daily ritual for yourself that tunes you to love. It tunes you to loving yourself, and it tunes you to the vision of love for this planet. Let's start from your cells, the vision of love for your cells of your body. So that's your life. The vision of love for your family. Let's say a vision pops up for me of inviting family to gather on a Zoom and do some of these practices. Visions of love, right? Vision of love for your community. A vision of love for your state, your country, then globally for our Earth family. Until the first of the year, let's sit with that. Maybe you'll choose to continue on, but just to drop into this very precious time, initiating our journey into winter. And the winter time, if we're to look at it indigenously, this is a time where there is the metaphorical death, a return to the Creator. Look at the trees, those that drop their leaves. There's a sense of letting go. And the sap draws into the core of the tree and into the roots. So with this shift, be aware as we cross the threshold into a new season, what is the shift you need to make? What is the shift that you need to create in your life? What is the shift? When we're changing the seasons, indigenously, we're traveling around a medicine wheel, and the shift is indicating our atonement with the way the Creator has designed creation, our tuning in. Tune in. Everything is pulling us out. And here lies the greatest pandemic, is that technology is advancing exponentially. And our awareness, our capabilities, our abilities also have the ability to evolve in alignment with evolution. So if this is advancing technology at such a quick pace, I heard a quote from Jim Quick. He was speaking about, and I'm paraphrasing, how much data was a person exposed to in the late 1700s compared to the data we're exposed to today. And what we get in a day is not as much as they got in a lifetime. So considering the way we need to atone to the moment, dropping the label of technology and just being in the flow of evolution as all of life is. Yep, the data is out there, all those things, but we as spiritually empowered beings are dwelling in the awareness of being energy. And that is where the power vibration of focus emerges. That we're focused on being vibration. That expands the auric field and ignites the infinite power of life that is part of every cell. Your consciousness is part of the consciousness of creation. And now you can focus. And you can hear. Different than using your eardrums, this physical sense. Just close your eyes with me for a moment. And just begin long and deep. And consider a beautiful place in nature. Really feel it. Feel what stands out to you in this beautiful place in nature. Maybe it's a time where you travel to a place and it just really, the beauty of nature just quieted every aspect of your thought process. And you began to feel all over your body the presence of nature. Maybe it was a view from a mountain. The feeling of being in a forest. What is it for you? So what we're building here is an anchor, a vibrational anchor that is very subtle, but it is still vibration because your imagery ability was not engaging in this visual and this experience. And everything that you're doing, the feeling, the visioning, maybe there's sound to your vision. All of that is vibration. And you are now developing a focus on what you represent in nature. Everything you see is you. Because we are vibration, creation is a vibration, It originated out of the one vibration, the AUM, and here we are, one with each other. Ek Onkar, the creator and its creation are one. Abund Bweshmaya, the creator and its creation are one. So any problems, any challenges in your life, let's just let them go and come to this place of being vibration. So we want to anchor it in deeply, this beautiful place where you dwell. Find a place to sit as you listen to the reading. And have a vantage point of looking out at the beautiful scenery and just how it allows your heart to feel. How calm, how peaceful. Now you label the vision. What does it invoke for you? You name it now. You've been given the ability to name creation. Come on now. Come on. Come on. You've been given the ability to name your experience of creation. Allow the breath to be long and deep. Feel the softness of it. Feel the consideration of its designer that allowed this basic nutrient of prana and consciousness to come to you in such a sweet, beautiful, soft, fulfilling way. I call that love. Because it didn't have to be designed that way. Could have been designed like eating aloe, which is bitter. Right? But it's designed to be so beautiful and soft. Look out at your vision of nature. Really feel yourself sink into it. The most comfortable seat is there for you. Whether you're sitting in easy pose in that yogic pose, or you're nestled in some trees, however way you're being held, feel held by Mother Nature. Feel the presence. And listen to these words, which is the second line of the Lord's Prayer. Hallowed be thy name. In Aramaic, it's Nethkadish Shemach. Clearing the space for the name to dwell. That's what we're doing. And that's what we're activating with our topic. The power vibration clears the space for the name to dwell. And when we focus on the name, we become that focus. And here's the first line. Focus your light within us. Make it useful. Feel that call, right? Feel that vibrational call. So that same energy is in the AUM. That same energy is in the OM. That same energy is in chanting hallelujah. That same energy is in chanting Satnam. That same energy is in chanting the Creator's name. Abu. Focus your light within us. That's how it focuses when we vibrate it. Focus your light within us. Make it useful. Make that light useful. That light, consciousness and prana. We focus on the breath, it is made useful. Focusing the mind on the breath, it's made useful. Focus the mind on the breath, you move from your animal nature, medulla, up into the higher centers. Then you get into your creative nature, knowing purpose, knowing the moment, hearing inspiration, hearing intuition, being guided to the supply you need to manifest that inspiration and that intuition. It's made useful. As the rays of a beacon show the way. Focus your light within us. Make it useful. As the rays of a beacon show the way. Help us breathe. Help us breathe one holy breath. In that consciousness of the breath, we know it is a holy breath. So it becomes one breath. Focused. Yeah, there's no other thought. Just that one breath. That one process of breathing. So you focus on that throughout your day, and that will focus the mind. because then it allows you to feel only your creator. And awareness of your creator, look what it says. This creates a shrine inside in wholeness. No longer fragmented into the past or fantasizing about the future. Present. And you become the present. You become the gift. Help us breathe one holy breath, feeling only you. This creates a shrine inside in wholeness. Feeling only you. Feel that inhale. Feel that exhale. That is your creator, your designer, your beloved. Help us let go. Clear the space inside of busy forgetfulness. That's where technology comes in. Help us let go. Clear the space inside of busy forgetfulness so the name comes alive. Hear the sound of the name. Inhaling Ab, exhale wound. Wound. That's how the Middle Eastern mystic would do it. Inhaling Ab, which is root of Abba, father, but the B and the W, wound. Ab, wound. That woo is non-gender, BW. It's non-gender, so it's the great parent of creation. Hearing the sound of that breath. Inhaling Ab, exhale wound. Right? That clears the space inside of busy forgetfulness so the name comes alive. Once you stop thinking and you focus in on the breath, the name comes alive. Your name, your sound can move us if we tune our hearts as instruments for its tone. You felt it vibrate when you were chanting, when you press your thumb into the sternum, when you chant, tuning the heart. And it's actually bringing coherence of these five senses and how the mind kind of hovers here because of the activity and stimulation. But when you're chanting and you feel the vibration of the heart, there's coherence that takes place between the three brains: cranial, heart, and gut. Hear the one sound that creates all others. In this way, the name is hallowed in silence. That's hearing the Creator's name in respiration. We all have that sound of respiration, the one sound, but we all have different voices. We all have different feelings. We all have different expressions. Hear the one sound that created all others. The birds have that same respiration. They create different sound. Right? Turtles create a sound. Frogs create a sound. And we all have respiration as that one sound. In peace, the name resides. So when you're focusing on the name of the source of creation, peace lives there. So now you know the key to setting up the conditions for peace to flourish. In peace, the name resides. A room of one's own, a holy of holies, open, giving light to all. And that's our fire of love. That's that fire of love inside you. Yeah. A room of your own. We all look elsewhere for this light. Notice how these screens light up, right? The seduction of the light. We look elsewhere for it. But where does it dwell? We look elsewhere for this light, it draws us out of ourselves. But the name always lives within. So as we think, similar to the Middle Eastern mystics on the banks of the Nile, in the temples studying vibrational awareness, we sit still, focused on consciously breathing and vibrating the name within, hearing the name within, hearing the chant that you love within as you breathe. Hearing the one sound that creates all others. In this way, the name is hallowed in silence. That space for the name to dwell. You can vibrate even though you're not using your mouth. You can hear, if water was in your vision, you can hear the flow of a stream or waves of an ocean in silence. The power of vibration, of focus, is directed by you and what you pay attention to. And the ancient ones would pay attention to the Creator's name as a way to come into a professionalism with regard to focus. This way to dissolve the pandemic of distraction, where everything is designed now to advert your attention away from you and use your energy. As it said, yeah? Help us let go. Clear the space inside of busy forgetfulness. And what will that do when we dissolve forgetfulness? When we dissolve distraction, what will happen? The name comes alive. What does that mean, y'all? That you reclaim your true identity as a vibrational being. You come alive as your true self. An ever intelligently creating entity, energy. And then we can understand how we have these patterns that cause us to continually experience certain challenges in relationships, whether it's relationship with other, self, money, the world. We have these, why do we always have these similar reactions? Similar triggers. Why do they show up for you? Because that entrainment, that advertisement for you to be giving your conscious energy to something outside of you. As it says, help us let go of that advertisement. Clear the space inside where we have been distracted. Clear the space inside of busy forgetfulness. So the name comes alive. And that coming aliveness is that focus. I think if I were to share with you a little over 3,000 people I've sat with at Passages and Addiction Treatment Center, if I were to say to you, what was the number one aspect of their being that put them in that position or in that room needing treatment, not knowing how to stop self-destructive behavior. And it is a distraction from their ability to calm their mind. If I asked them, if I added those 3,000 people, and just give you an idea, and I asked them, what do you want the most out of life? What's the number one thing you want? And if you were to consider, contentment, love, or peace of mind, which would you think would be the most important to them? I just want you to think about it in a moment. Because the number one answer to that question was peace of mind. And that translates to the busy forgetfulness. Clear that space so the name can come alive. Now the name can come alive, let's look at it metaphorically. That the name of your true self, your identity comes alive, your true identity. If we translate name in terms of how Kundalini Yoga and the chants are organized in that language of Gurumukhi, name is identity, Namo. This is a sense of self, being one with our source. So herein lies this what we're speaking of, the power vibration of focus, that there is a sense of coming into this peace where the name resides. So therefore we can participate in activating the presence of the name. And herein lies us being given through the design of life the opportunity to participate, not just be adverted away from what we have the ability to respond to. Yeah, responsibility, responding to your ability. So underneath that distraction is what I saw, is that people, they didn't know how to respond to their abilities. They didn't know about their abilities. They were all off in the advertisement, getting a Snickers to calm that hunger in between meals, which if we are studying the body and the way to optimally engage digestion, assimilation, and elimination, that snacking potentially can be the worst thing for us to do. But that's a time of assimilation. So we want to give energy to assimilation after we've eaten and leave at least a 4-hour window, at least a 2, before we take on something else. But we've been so adverted to, so advertised to about the snacking and all these kind of things that we lose connection, right? We lose connection to being with the emptiness, right? Inhale with me. Okay, you're full to capacity. Hold the breath. Then you'll get a signal to empty, but we're going to empty now. Exhale. Now you've emptied. Hold the breath at the bottom. And there's this moment to be with empty and releasing. Now inhale deeply. Hold that breath. Now you're with this process you've taken in. And now there is the digestion and assimilation of the prana and consciousness, going to every cell of the body. The heart is still beating, right? So there's this assimilation and this distribution that happens with the assimilation with the small intestines if you're eating. And the heart is spreading it out throughout the whole body. Now exhale. Hold the breath out. Now you're able to empty and eliminate freely. Now hold the breath as long as you can, and when you're ready to inhale, inhale. So there's a signal inside that guides you to when you need to replenish and nourish yourself with the breath. But we've been so advertised to around snacking in between meals and diets and all these things that, again, there's this busy forgetfulness of tuning into our own body's needs. So this is a love mission if you choose to accept it. if it brings any triggers around watching food and any, just let it go. But if there is a curiosity in you as a spiritual scientist, as a spiritual alchemist, and you're looking to drop into the optimal functioning of this body beyond pleasure and pain, beyond seeking pleasure to avoid pain, beyond seeking pleasure, period. If you want to drop into your design and really hone in on the experience of it, it's just like this line says. We all look elsewhere for this light. Let me back up since Phil just came on. We're activating ourselves as vibration, Phil, stepping into the power vibration of focus, right? So we know what we need, and we know the way we need to move in oneness, tuned to our source. We know. In peace, the name resides, a room of one's own. So it is coming to this place of peace. And in this space of peace, tuning in that if you need some nourishment, some people have a different metabolism than another person. So we're not downplaying and saying snacking is bad. We're just saying snacking or nourishing yourself wisely, nourishing yourself for longevity, nourishing yourself to have that experience of peace and the name residing within, having that experience of hearing the sound of your creator and being able to tune your instrument for its tone, having an awareness of conscious living, mindful living. We're speaking about nourishing yourself that way. So here's the challenge. To just notice when you add a sweetener to stimulate your food or whatever you're taking in, or when you add salt to stimulate your food. Do you really need it? And just a light question. You can respond to it or not, but just begin to become conscious. The practice here is to become conscious on how you stimulate yourself beyond the ways you need to dwell in that space, right, of allowing the name to come alive. Are there shifts that you need to make? Maybe it might be to experience the flavor of the food, the way it was seasoned while it was cooking or being prepared. And just to be with the flavor of it, just to be content in the now. Just to practice. I found that those clients who are able to engage this kind of practice, there's a strengthening of being able to hear the one sound that created all others. Being able to be in a peace, right? The name resides. In peace, the name resides. To be able to dwell in that state of awareness. And then to also be aware of when you look elsewhere for this light, where you may be drawn out of yourself. And even though you may, this is where forgiveness and compassion are, and this also develops subtly underneath, choosing to nourish yourself in a certain way, the name always lives within, because you can always return to the breath. Say, do I really need to add more salt? And you may say, yes, I would enjoy that. I'd like to enjoy it this way. So you add more salt. But the key here is being a conscious consumer of nutrients. Be a conscious consumer of nutrients. So paying attention to the breath. This is the power vibration of focus, right? Major keys here. as a child comes out of the womb, how do we entrain a child to our societal ways? It is said through the biological activities. So when the child comes out, the nursing or the feeding happens at a time when the household goes to sleep. So the child knows when to go to sleep. Helps to bring a sense of order. If we're tuning into the sun, it helps to bring a certain order and help the child to develop that circadian rhythm to be with the flow of nature. Yeah. When do we eat? You start honing in the child as the child gets older on when it's time to nourish oneself. And then that starts to indicate times of other biological activities. But there's this entrainment, and we get a chance to do it for ourselves. So this is a major practice. As we're in the darkness, we're with our patterns, and our patterns are easily available. What we're honing in on is we're letting go of the map of the Piscean age. The map that says, if I do this, then I'll feel better like that. Or if I do this or get these instructions, then I can go ahead and do that. Because sometime the moment is going to show up and the mind is not going to know what to do. Because the information is coming so fast that we need, this is so important, y'all, that we just need to clear the space. Help us let go. Clear the space inside of busy forgetfulness so the name comes alive. And the name coming alive is the intuition. It is the guidance. It is the inspiration. And it is the attraction of all the abundance you need to activate the idea. So the abundance is going to come because it's already coming to you. The abundance of consciousness and prana. Money is consciousness and prana. So it comes to you in ways that the mind cannot calculate. Not saying letting go of your faculties and what you have the ability to do. There's no good or bad I'm speaking about here. Just speaking about excess leads to deficiency. Excess leads to deficiency. So be aware of your activity in the spacesuit and where there's excess. Now, it's a winter solstice ritual time. You know, Malidoma Some, who is an elder that made his transition on 12/12, who I dreamed of working with, but his teachings from the Dagara tribe in West Africa acknowledges, as many indigenous cultures do, that when there's a disturbance in the physical realm, you look out at your world, where are there disturbances? Those disturbances happen because there's a disturbance in the invisible realm. And everything we've been talking about in this second line of the Lord's Prayer, and the first, as a matter of fact, is going on in the invisible realm. So he says that it is those of us who are aware of energy, we know that it exists first in the invisible realm and then manifests into a physical experience. So if there's a disturbance in the physical experience, then where do we need to go? If there's any disturbance in our relationships, we get just like the universe, we get still and we go into our protocols for releasing the busy forgetfulness, which for now, as we begin to wind into just a moment of getting into the breath, we usually have a longer breath time, but it's a special download for you to take this into your life. If you have a few moments, just continue. We're going to do a little circular breath, but continue that circular breath into your day. Sitting still, getting still. If you find yourself moving around, busy, forgetfulness, just drop into a stillness. That can look like just watching your breath. How am I breathing? Asking the question, as we talked about earlier, how am I breathing? That sets up the connection. That sets up clearing the forgetfulness. How can I use this energy? Write this down. How can I use this energy to serve my soul? Talked about questions earlier, so we may as well go into our recap now. And then we'll do some breathing, and we'll allow that breathing to flow into your day. We'll do it like that. So if you have time to continue breathing, you can continue for 6 to 12 to 18 minutes. Continue the circular breath, or you can return to it later in the day. But let's start our recap. How's everybody doing? It's been a download today, I know. It's a lot happening. Transformations going on. We're shifting from caterpillar mentality into butterfly, pollinating the cosmic trees and downloading the fruits that we need, y'all. You all right? Somebody say, yeah, I'm all right. Let me know. So, coming into our recap, then I'll pray, and then we'll go into our breathing, and then I'll gently say, continue on, and then we'll look to meet next Wednesday, Creator willing. All right, so recapping. Our whole topic today is about the vibration power of focus, and particularly you becoming, you activating the vibrational power of focus. Take a deep inhale, let that seep in. Maybe you might write this down or let this circulate in your thinking. I now have the ability to vibrate the power of focus. I now have the ability to vibrate the power of focus on serving my soul. I now have the vibratory power of focus to serve my soul. Might have said it different the last time. I'm getting several downloads at one time, but you got it, right? You got it. So how do we activate that? How do we embody that? Our teaching says, hear the one sound that creates all others. In this way, the name is hallowed in silence. In peace, the name resides. A room of one's own, a holy of holies, open, giving light to all. So the key here is to vibrate. Whether that is silently, as the teaching just spoke, hearing the sound of the breath. Simple as that. Of course, you can create from there, but as simple as just getting still and listening to the sound of the breath. The light is focused within you, and it is made useful with that very act. Right? And then there's the vibratory energy of chanting, getting still and just chanting. Hallelujah. Satnam, Waheguru, Ekonkar, Abunda Brahmaya. Right? Hari Om Tat Sat. Om. Or Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just vibrate. So those are the ways: consciously breathing, listening to the sound, and really getting still. Getting still. Opening up the movement of the body, getting aware of yourself, nourishing yourself consciously, And then vibrating yourself. Yep, vibrating yourself internally or with the sound current that flows through you. So we engaged a vision. That vision is a place for you to settle into and for it to be your holy of holies. A place where you can go when you're feeling, if you ever feel any anxiety, if you ever feel any uncertainty, if you're ever in a position you don't know what to do, you go to that place. Go to that place within. Beautiful. Everybody all right? So we're going to pray out and then do some circular breathing. It's just simply alternating between inhaling through the nose. You change on the exhale, exhaling out the mouth. On the inhale, you always inhale the same channel. So inhaling through the mouth, opposite channel on the exhale, you exhale out the nose. Same channel, inhale the nose. So on the inhale, it's the same channel. On the exhale, it's the opposite channel. All right, thank you, Charlene. Everybody's good. Okay, great. So this time, let's just cup our energy sphere around the heart. Then we're going to pray out. I'm going to lead you with the breath for a little bit, and then I'm going to say namaste, hallelujah. And you don't, no need to respond in the chat or anything like that. You just continue the breath. If you can continue for a longer period of time, do so. Join back in when you can. Thank you, Creator, for this time together, for bringing this energy of love, this fire of love for us to dwell in front of, for us to bring forth all the energies of life and be able to settle into your presence and feel your presence, activate your presence, and feel that deep peace from knowing we are one with you. We hold a vision that this radiates out to all beings on this planet, that children have clean water, families have sanctuaries to dwell in that allows them to fulfill their needs according to your plan, that there's a peace that can dwell within them with what they have, a deep appreciation for life flourishes, where they become present to that and they become the present, they become the gift, and move beyond any energies of commerce and activities, the ritual around these times, around these holy days. Thank you for allowing us to dwell in the center of our being, experiencing you, the true presence of life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you, we love you. And forgive us for any way we separate ourselves from you. We ask that these energies, these prayers go out. We feel the deep peace as they go out to all our family, all our relations. So now we'll begin the circular breath, and you'll hear me say namaste, hallelujah, and I'll be parting, but you keep breathing. Keep this energy flowing, this vision of life force coming into us as a humanity and being guided by love. Spine is straight. Feel the crown reaching into the heavens. Feel the sparkling stars all around you. Maybe you feel the warmth of the sun. Feel the hips are rooting into Mother Earth. All your contact points with Mother Earth are rooting into Mother Earth as we inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Hear the sound. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Clearing the tongue, all the senses on the tongue. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Namaste, hallelujah. As you exhale out the mouth, and keep going at your own pace and in your own way. One love.